are Geordie Journos back on patch, and if you haven't realised already, this is Croft Park, the home of Blythe Spartans.
Give them a little look around.
Yeah, give them a look around. Beautiful little ground this.
PIF if you've got any little spare change down there.
Well, I would.
In your back pocket, let's get some investment in your Blythe.
I would certainly love that, because I spent 4 years here as media manager before I moved on to Newcastle World. Loved every minute. Historic club, FA Cup club, shall I say. But yeah, enough about that anyway. We're here thinking of Blythe. There's a member of Newcastle United's team from Blythe. Of course, it's Dan Byrne, who yesterday it was announced that he'd signed a new 2-year contract extension, taking his stay at St James's Park until 2025. So we thought, why not? We've been up here this afternoon watching Blythe Spartans in National League North action. So when I talk, yeah, it was 3-0 win for Blythe.
Magic from Nicky Devereaux.
It was free kick. I need to get this right. Was it that end?
That end.
It was that end.
It was that one.
I'm still getting used to how to move this actual, so I'll be sticking around. 2 goals at that end, and then 1 in the second half. That end, a comfortable win. 1 o'clock kickoff it was, so the visitor could. I don't know how you pronounce the second name. Bishop Stortford.
Bishop Stortford, isn't it?
Stortford. Yeah. So they've obviously got a long journey up. Don't know how they're in National League North, but anyway.
5 hours away in National League North. Just makes a mockery of the divide at that level, doesn't it? Really. Yeah. Right, yes. Dan Byrne.
Yes, Dan Byrne.
Come on.
I think we mentioned Dan Byrne before. Blythe-born Dan Byrne before. We're at Croft Park. Let's talk about him. New contract yesterday, 2025. He's staying. Liam, I mean, he's been at this club just for 18 months. You know, he certainly deserves a new deal.
Yeah, I think it's been a really interesting 18 months for Dan Byrne, because you've mentioned it on one of the previous Geordie Journos videos that almost we all viewed it as a stick and plaster signing. That he'd be a player that would come in and do 6 months. I think he's even admitted that a little bit himself, that the biggest achievement that he's had is actually getting this second deal rather than actually signing in the first place. Because getting this second deal means that he's really proven himself to be a valuable member of the squad, and that's the bit that can't really be taken away from him. I think Newcastle fans have questioned Dan Byrne to an extent, and wondered whether he was the medium-term to long-term solution. They've even wondered whether he was a short-term solution to the left-back position at Newcastle United. And at every turn, the big lad from Blythe, he just keeps proving them wrong. I think I said it in my analysis for Newcastle World from the London Stadium, the last game before the international break, that I actually thought that was Dan Byrne's best show in a black and white shirt. I thought it was an incredible performance. Dan Byrne, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a reasonably solid left-back performance, a leader on the pitch, somebody respected among his teammates, a threat aerially. Well, sorry, I'll roll that back. A big lad who can win plenty at his end. And I think what's really changed, I would say, in the last few weeks, he scored, of course, where was it? Where did he get that goal? Premier League?
Sheffield United.
Sheffield United, 8-0. So he scored at Sheffield United, then followed that up with another goal against PSG, and probably could have got a third in that little international break at West Ham, but for a good save from Areola. And that's what he's added to the game, is that now, for the size of him, he never looked much of a threat in the opposition box. He looks a real threat now. He's getting on the end of things, whether that's the quality of the delivery, whether that's something they've been working on in the training ground, or whether it's just him attacking the ball and getting a bit more confidence in that area, knowing, feeling that when the ball comes in, I'm going to get on the end of this and I'm going to attack it and get it goalwards. I think Newcastle fans have become accustomed, not just from Dan Byrne, this isn't a Dan Byrne criticism, Botman, Share, others, of the loop and header from a free kick or corner that just lands on the top of the net, or it goes into the stand. But there's a real menace and an attack about the way the defenders are going for things now in the box, and it's making a big difference. So that's what I like. And the other bit I want to pick up from that West Ham game was the Isak one where he hit the post, all created from Dan Byrne's attacking, getting forward, bombing forward. He's always tried to get beyond on that left hand side and not always had been able to deliver. But wow, did he deliver with that? A lovely little defence splitting pass with his left foot that put Isak in. That probably should have been his hat-trick and would have been the match winner. We can't complain too much for a guy that got 2 goals. So no, that's what I'm going to say about Dan Byrne for me, is that we've always known he's the solid, reliable, big voice in the dressing room. You know, respected, commanding figure who'll always do a job for you and not really let you down. But actually, in that between international breaks, that little period of games when Newcastle United went on an amazing run, coincided with, I think, arguably Dan Burn's best performances in a black and white shirt. So up Dan Burn, yeah, I think he's been fantastic. I think he's been fantastic in recent weeks, and that comes from somebody who I've been one of the people who's maybe asked some questions and said, look, is he a centre half playing left back? Is he better in the middle? But no, I think he's really proven himself, and I'm not saying now for 1 second I think he's the medium to long term solution to that left back position. But if he keeps playing like this, it's going to be difficult for anybody to take him out of the team.
Yeah, so just that I want to focus on his journey as a whole. Started here as a Blythe Spartans junior, went through, I mean, obviously Darlington non-league now, but I think at the time Darlington were in League 2, and he's had setbacks among that journey. His professional career, got a move to Fulham. It was released from Fulham, ended up going to, I think it was including loan spells now, Yeovil Town, etc. Playing for likes of Wigan. Then goes back to the Championship, Premier League with Brighton, and finds himself back at St James's Park. I think it was about 10 years on, or possibly even longer. And I honestly, that Paris Saint-Germain game for me, there was so many good stories in that team. You've got, Almiron, who was here pre-takeover, Fabian Schär, Sean Longstaff, North Shields born, but Dan Burn, the last time Newcastle United played in the Champions League, Dan Burn was watching in the stands with his dad, and it was that in turn just reflected the journey he's been on, and I can't praise Dan Burn enough. I think you mentioned it there, I've mentioned it previously, when he was signed in January, Dan Burn has said it himself. I actually think he said it on Friday when the deal was announced, that he didn't want him joining the club to be more than a stick and plaster. He wanted to be here long term, and he's got that deal until 2025 there. Will he still be playing at left back in 2025? Perhaps not, but he has earned the right to be on that team now. Obviously Matt Targett picked up his injuries last season, fell out of the team. Dan Burn moved over to left back. Lewis Halls came in this summer, and neither player's got near him, and there's a reason why Dan Burn is still in that starting 11, and it's because of not just his performances, but he leads by example. His leadership behind the scenes, and being vocal with players, and just being that bit of heart in the dressing room. We're seeing that at Wembley. That if you ever watched the Amazon documentary, I don't think I'm giving spoilers now because you've had enough time to watch it, but it was that moment at Wembley when he stood up and spoke to the dressing room, and I think he read a poem out, and it was a really nice moment. And as I say, I just think moments like that reflect how key he is. Eddie Howe was quite big on big personalities. There's a reason why likes of Paul Dummett end up sticking around. I know he had that game against Manchester City, but for large spells Paul Dummett hasn't played. But he has been kept at Newcastle United for another year because of his stand in the dressing room, because of leadership behind the scenes. I think that Dan Burns obviously gave more than that. He plays, but don't underestimate that. 6 months after joining this club, Dan Burn was put in the leadership group alongside Kieran Trippier, Callum Wilson, Jamal Lascelles. It says a lot for a player who had only just joined the football club to be put in such a group and lead the dressing room. So I can't praise him enough. I think he's been a terrific sign for this football club. Has already wrote himself into history by that Paris Saint-Germain goal, and all the players that are part of this journey now in terms of Newcastle United getting the top, I think they deserve a lot of credit, and Dan Burn in many ways epitomises the journey Newcastle United have been on, not just for himself personally, but over the last couple of years as well. Yeah,
the only thing I like to that is I suppose we'll probably wax lyrical about him enough, and don't worry, we will talk about certain other players in different periods during the time that we'll be doing these videos, as the sun comes through the cracks here. Comes through the cracks here at the standing Croft part of the terrace. Yes, I think what I was going to finally add to that was, for a player, when you talk through that journey, it just makes you realise that he's almost won at football now.
Yeah.
Like a lad coming from these roots where we stand here to scoring a goal against PSG in the Champions League, ball winning a trophy, it probably doesn't really get much better than that for a local Geordie boy who's had real adversity in his career, by his own admission. So yeah, a fantastic story among many in this squad, and I'm sure there's a few chapters to add between now and the end of the season and moving forward for the likes of Dan Burn, Sean Longstaff and others. Right, anything to add, Jordan, or is that us?
No, I think do you want to roll through the T's and C's? It seems to be your job now.
Yeah, let's do it. So you know what you have to do: like, share, comment. If you want to get involved in the conversation or the debate, just get in the comments wherever we share this. We all share this on Instagram, we all share this on our own personal Twitter accounts and Facebook accounts. Get involved in the conversation. We love to chat with you guys and have that feedback. But yeah, click the bell, that'll subscribe to the Geordie Journos channel. We are missing one today.
Yeah.
Of course, the great Don Skur is...
he didn't fancy the day. He's a former Gateshead press.
He is.
He didn't fancy the day.
But we'll not criticise him for that.
No.
He's a good lad.
He is.
And we do miss you, Don. So, right, yeah, like, comment, share and subscribe for all your Geordie Journos content.